What y'all talking about?
It's all Jesus.
As soon as I turn the thing on, I hear Jordan say, "The heart of God." What did I miss?
You didn't miss it.
Yes, I did. He wouldn't have started talking like that. Somebody had to said something for him to say, "The heart of God." I want to hear the big. You know what? Don't worry about it. I'm gonna go back and listen.
It was me. I appreciate the correctness.
The correctness? Oh, you mocking me? Nah.
This guy. Hey, we got 50 people on the line. Can we get 50 people over there to YouTube?
Yeah. We need 49 of y'all to go over there. Big Op, Fear the Beard? Bro, that is not a beard. Dre, open your mic.
What beard?
Dre, open your mic.
He said, "Fear the beard." What beard?
I don't know.
Shadow.
I got like, I don't have nothing on my face. Or maybe he just being silly. Big Op just probably being silly. They was talking. Look, Big Op snitched on y'all, bro. Y'all talking about my beard. I don't even have a beard anymore. Are you talking about when I used to have one?
Oh, I told people, I said, did you guys go back and look at Trot's old videos when he had a beard? He's out there looking like Zacchaeus.
He's stupid. He's looking like Zacchaeus out there. Oh, hey, in Iraq, that thing was no joke. Hey, my legendary stash, bro, I had that sucker up to here, bro.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. I got the legendary. My heifer gets mad at me because I say that because a dude walked up to me and was like, "Bro, you got that legendary stash." And I went like this. "Yes, sir." I said,
"Oh my God."
Hey, heifer was like, "Stop it." And I said, hold on. She got mad because I started monologuing with the guy because of my legendary stash. Oh boy, but it drives her wild.
Let it grow back, bro. Let it grow back.
Oh, she wants me to make. I don't know. I might. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna lie. the best picture, in my opinion, we ever took is when I had my stash on and she turned it into a cartoon. Hold on. She turned it into a cartoon. It really is a really neat picture.
And you want to stop burning that wood and inhaling that smoke, bro. What's wrong with you?
Man, bro, hey, past few days, been burning everything. All the bark and all the chips. And I used to sell chips too. I sold the chips too. Put them in the bag.
You in there throwing fish scales in that fire.
Yeah, no doubt. Everything going in that fire. I ain't lying, bro. The past 2 weeks, I've probably made at least 20 fires in the past 2 weeks, and 2 of them big ones. And one of them I went live on that one. All right, guys, we are still in our authority as a born again believer. That's where we're at. Last time, I think and I tried to fly through it yesterday, but it's a very important topic, man. It's huge. The majority of who you are as a believer points to what you became, right? Like the Bible says, you became a new creature, a new creation. That is like the biggest part of the Bible. And not to be able to discuss that for hours, in my personal opinion, is a problem if you're claiming to either make disciples or to minister Christ to someone. And that part, you're not able to like dig into and discuss for multiple hours at a time. And the reason why I say that, I'm not saying that you have to discuss it for multiple hours. I'm saying you should have so much ammunition about this topic that you can go on for hours. That way, when you meet someone and you're like, "Man, I only got 1 minute," you can grab the biggest stakes out of that 4-hour conversation and give it to them in 1 minute. that would cause a fire to ignite in them and make them want to go study it some more on their own. That's what I mean. You should be able to talk about just about anything in the Bible for hours. It's not okay to talk about the law for hours and then Jesus for 30 seconds. That's not okay. You have been taught wrongfully, and you need to be retaught, obviously. Man, what'd I do with my... Oh, here it is. I don't know why that's doing that now. I got to go look for my for my lightning bolt. Man. For my lightning bolt and corn. Man, I got to go like hunt for them things. They used to be right there on the top. I think they're trying to get rid of the lightning bolt and corn or something. Let's see. All right, guys, I say this every day, and I'm probably going to keep saying it. Descaled 100% is grateful to anyone that subscribes or becomes a team member on YouTube. And those monies go towards pushing descaled material. And that money is about to be pushed a little bit more so we can make a podcast. I haven't talked to Dre about it offline. I couldn't yesterday. I'm going to try to do it today, but we're going to try to get that up and running here starting next year. Like, no joke. And so we're trying to make YouTube the powerhouse of Descaled. I'm tired of being slapped around by by the smaller app. In my opinion, they haven't earned a right to do any of that. I appreciate the platform, but the bias part of it, there's at this point now, they need to get real. There's apparently 10 apps now that are just like it. They're not much different. And I'm telling you, they keep picking and choosing like how they're going to disregard certain lives. A lot of people are going to get savvy to that, and it's just not going to be it's just not going to be something that, so anyone that's we've got a few partners already that people that's partnered with Descaled, and obviously we appreciate that. It's different than just being a team member, but nobody here will ever feel like you're lower than. We're not going to bring someone that's wearing what's that? Duce and Gabbana. Whatever was that stuff called?
Dolce and Gabbana.
Man, listen.
We're not Hindu, so we don't have a caste system, so you guys don't have to worry about that. Yeah. So you come to Descaled dressed like that, you're gonna sit in the back with everybody else. You're not gonna get no front seat. Look at God. Stop talking about designer Dolce.
He said, "Look at God."
What? Look at God? What?
When you went off screen, he was like, "Look at God."
Oh, this guy.
We're gonna make podcasting great again.
Yeah. So anyway, what I was getting at is anyone that has subscribed to the TikTok, to Descaled TikTok, man, again, thank you, appreciate it. We are trying to transition. They're not called subscriptions on YouTube; they're called memberships. So if you can move your subscription to YouTube, that would be amazing. Because like I said, we're trying to dim down the light on the smaller app, and man, it's been something else. So, and the majority of you that's been here, that y'all know, it's been a joke. So I'm only reminding, if you still do not know how to unsubscribe, like I said, get with Jordan, Dre. Who else is on the? Who's on the electrical side? Huh?
Yeah, just me or I think CJ and.
Oh yeah, where's CJ at?
His wife said he's not making enough money, so she
take
more hours. She said,
"Hey CJ, if you're listening,
paying your bills, go take your butt to
go
work.
Pay your bills." Hey, she said, "You're gonna be on Descaled for 3 hours a day. You better go get a better job." Oh, he's gonna be mad at us now. He gonna be mad at us now.
He went and got a third job.
He went and got, oh God, that ain't no joke, huh?
Nah, he went to go get his first job. What you talking about?
Yeah, nah, bro. He already had one. His second. Then he went second. I know he had something. I can't remember what he did. Who is that? Tammy. He's working overtime. Hey, he's working overtime, bro. He got what?
He is, because you know Trump said he ain't taxing overtime hours, so he's like, you know what, I'm gonna go get this OT.
He ain't in president. He ain't in the White House yet. Nobody tell him.
He's a little haste.
Nobody
makes mistakes. He's gonna be like, "What? I worked overtime. Why ain't I seeing this on my check? What's going on?"
Yeah. So, all right. Hey, anybody got anything before we hop into talking about our authority as a believer?
Hey, don't forget Friday, Colorado plays. Not Saturday, on Friday.
Bro, I'm glad you said that. I didn't know that. Who they playing?
Oklahoma State University. Them punks that where Benny's from.
All right. What you say? So yesterday it was kind of, it's not an easy topic, man. When you start talking about angels and humans and souls, but because we're talking about authority, and I wanted to make it very clear that there is a different condition regarding authority. It's unconditional with humans, and it is conditional with angels. And I know, trust me, I've heard all the arguments, and I'm just going to stand my ground. I'm not going to argue about it anymore. And I did several years ago. I would have a debate about it and say, bro, and it's not easy to see unless you read the Bible. You start reading the Bible more, you're like, wait a minute, bro. He is treating humans different. And so that's just the way that I'm going to word it, that it's conditional towards an angel, but it's unconditional, and it is because of the soul. Angels don't have them, and then there are people that believe that angels do, but they don't. We have them, and we talked about that yesterday, so there's no need to go through that again. And I ain't lying, Dre. I probably had at least 70, messages regarding that, and only about 5 or 10 were kind of negative. So it was about 60 people that were asking some more questions about that. And out of the 60, 20 of them probably, I don't even know who they were. So I guess they just happened to slip on by and hear that part of it. But anybody got anything before we hop in there? Anybody? No? Maybe so. All right. All right. Somebody pull up Psalm 82:6. And so again, we're still all right, I'll let you know when to read it. So we're still talking about our authority, which will be going on for, like I said, probably another month. I seem like I say that every day. There's so much, bro. I don't want to leave anything out. So I know it's going to be for a month for sure. But, yesterday we were talking about the type of dominion that was given to us. We talked about how Satan wanted that dominion. And so obviously, talking about our authority, we're always going to be talking about the garden, our dominion. It'll always kind of go back to that because that's where it all initiated, right? So we were given dominion, right? Power and authority over the earth. Go ahead and read Psalms 82:6.
Yes, it says, I have said ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High.
And all of you are children of the Most High. And obviously we got that dominion from Abba Father, right? And, since it was ours to rule and reign, right? The dominion that was given to us, we were gods over the earth because he gave it to us, just like he told Moses to be, you will be as a god to Pharaoh. But it's real hard when you hear someone say that we are gods, lowercase g, not capital G. We're not God divine. That's not it. But you should not be afraid to believe that when he put his spirit on the inside of you and you became born again, first of all, look, this God that we're talking about, he didn't come from like another galaxy, like, you know, in a land, you know, I don't know, what's the Star Trek? What does he say? In a place far
away.
Yeah.
Far and away.
He didn't come from a place far, far away. And he just rides up to Earth and he's like, oh man, wow, them poor things right there. Let me see what happens if I put my spirit in one of them. That's not what happened. He made us. There was this backstabbing event that took place. Mankind died. And instead of him just wiping everything away, he said, nah, we're not going to do that. I'm going to show my glory through all of this. Y'all, everybody's about to find out right now. And he started bringing us alive based on his own word, based on who he is. And it's a remarkable thing to see. If you be honest with yourself, for him to go out of his way. I can't tell you how many times, excuse me, man, that I started working on a project. I don't care what it is. And it becomes like a catastrophe. I remember the first time I tried to build like we'll just say like a shack or a shed. And I was like, bro, how is that thing not straight? Like none of it is straight. And of course, this is the first time I ever tried. You know, I had someone helping me. They were rookies at it also. And you know, they're like, what do you think we should do? And I'm like, bro, I am not taking all those screws. I'm about to burn that. That thing probably cost a couple $100 to make. We didn't finish it. It was just a frame. Man, I took that thing, threw it in the burn pile. I lit that sucker on fire, and I was like, that's a wrap. And you know what I did? I went to go buy brand new wood. And, you know, this time I learned some things. So now I'm checking all the boards, making sure, boy, everything's dressed right. The thing's going to be squared away. Now, I will admit, the second one that we built, if you were to like put it up against that first one, it looked amazing. But because I built it, I knew where all the flaws were, but it was at least flat and straight. But there were some things about it that were imperfect, but people that saw it was like, oh man, that thing's amazing. And I'm like, I can't do it to you. Come here. Look at this. He's like, oh man, how did that happen? I don't know. I said, but out here it looks amazing. I said, but I got to show you the flaw. Look at this thing right here. And you know, it's funny. Jesus didn't do that, man. He just didn't. He recognized, obviously, that's not how that's supposed to be. But he didn't start all over. And if he's that amazing and brilliant and so, you know, godly, it would have been even easier for him to start all over. Snap of the fingers, everything gone. All right, let's start. It would have been so easy. I had to drag something to a burn pile, light it on fire, make sure it wasn't here anymore, get rid of all the evidence of the failure, and then start all over. And that's not what he did. He literally gave himself for us, and it's hard to believe the type of authority that he gave us. It is. You talk to people, and they're so worried and scared that people are going to worship you. That's all they talk about. Well, hold on. Whoa. How did that man get healed? Well, what do you mean? I put my hand. Oh, you, sir, didn't put your hand on nothing. It was God that did that. You're like, yeah, bro. I said in the name of Jesus, bro. I didn't say in the name of myself. May you be healed. Satan, you have no authority over this poor person. What are you talking about? It's like you tell that person, hey, you know what? Next time we go lay hands on the sick, I want you to come with us. Oh, yeah. All right. Sounds great. You know, most of them people that play this religious game, they won't go lay hands on nobody. But they'll be real quick to criticize everybody else who's laying hands on everybody else. And they think that they're God's little, little Igor that's going around is like, Master, he said he put his hand on. It was your hand, God. I got him, God. Let me go get him. I mean, it's ridiculous the way people play this religious.
Or Eeyore.
Oh, what'd I say?
No, I said you said it right, but I'm saying or Eeyore, like the donkey from Winnie the Pooh. Well,
Yeah.
it's just a sad day.
Yeah.
God gave us this sickness, and we just walk around, Pooh Bear, with our
Yeah.
sickness. God is just sad every day, just
Yeah.
like me. He gave me this sad spirit.
Yeah, just be Eeyore all day long. But it's not true, man. What is true is you have the power of God living on the inside of you based on nothing but how he views things. That's the only way that any of it happened, is he has a very pleasant sight, and that is his only will, is for everything that he's making to have the same sight that he has. And if we didn't have that sight, he was going to do something about it. And so our sight was taken away from us, and he gave it back. And now it is here. We received that sight from the Spirit. But I'm going to constantly be talking about this, because if you don't understand how big of a thing he did, then you still see yourself as small. And if you see yourself as small, it is going to be less encouraging. It's going to be harder for you to see, believe, or understand that through you, anything is possible, 100%. But it's only when you can see what you are, not just see how big God is. If all you see is how big God is and how little you are, that person does not understand the authority that God gave them. And so what people will say is, oh, well, the Bible says not to think of yourself higher and all these other things. No. That's what Satan did. He was thinking of himself higher. You're not supposed to think of yourself higher, but you still tell the truth. And the truth is, God gave us dominion. So if he gave us dominion, it would be a lie to tell someone you have no dominion. You do. But there are these people, they hear you say this, you have dominion. God gave you dominion over the fish in the sea, the fowls of the air. God gave you this authority and power. But then when you speak on it, they're thinking you're saying something that's blasphemous, and you're not. You're just going over what Scripture is teaching us. So, somebody read Psalms 115:16. Who's got it? Who's on it?
I can pull it up if nobody else is. I don't know if anybody else is pulling it up.
Okay.
Get it?
You got it?
Yeah.
Hey guys, look, I never said it this way. We need to start doing it like this. Look, in baseball, if you've never played baseball or softball, I apologize. But if you have, listen, usually you got 3 outfielders. And when a pop-up happens, somebody has to yell, I got it. Why? So the other 2 knuckleheads don't run over there and everybody's fighting for the ball. Okay? So if I say, hey, who's got Psalms?
I got it.
Hey, if all 5 of y'all are looking for it and I don't know who's got it, I need someone to be like, got it. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I don't understand. We're fumbling over here.
Shot.
What?
Got it.
Okay, Roger.
16. Lord have mercy. The heaven, even the heavens, are the Lord's, but the earth hath he given to the children of men.
All right, is that prideful to say that? Would that be prideful?
Mm.
Anybody?
No, why would it be prideful? He gave it to us.
Right. But will religious people take that prideful if you say it?
That
Yes.
this earth is mine?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah, bro.
I'm crying about it. Show.
Yeah. So that's why I'm going over these very specific verses, because I have seen it with my own eyes. If you tell someone where it says, but the earth hath he given to the children of men, I was like, well, the heavens is God's and the earth is ours. You say that, what? Everything's God's. Sometimes it's scary that you just can't even believe what the Bible says. And I'm talking about the people that argue about the black letters on a white page. This is black letters on a white page. Okay? You don't have to like try to study this out. And obviously I did, and it literally says pretty much what it says here, but it's making it very clear that even the heavens are the Lord's, but the earth hath he given to the children of men. And that is talking about the thing we're walking on. I don't care if you think it's a flat, sphere, square, octagon, whatever. Okay? The thing we're walking on is what it's referring to. So if it's ours, how is it ours? Because he gave us dominion over it. That's what the Bible tells us. So the Creator himself gave us power and authority to rule over this earth as if we were the Creator. There's another foot thumper. As if we were the Creator. This is not easy always. It's not always easy to get someone to see this. He made us like he made himself. God creates things. And so when you're trying to like tell someone, if someone says to you about something else being created, right? If someone says to you, so God's not the only being that creates, and you say, well, yeah, God creates everything. God creates. Okay. And then they start throwing verses at you. And you go, okay, well, we create things too. You just lost half the room. And the other half are just waiting for you to say something more dumb in their head. And out of that half, there's a very small percentage that are just confused whether if what you're saying is dumb or not. And you just kind of whittle down the room. If there was 100 in there, you might have 20 that are still waiting for you to redeem yourself or to clarify what you're trying to say. But the Creator 100% gave us power and authority to rule over this earth and to rule it as if we were the Creator. And that is not easy to see when you just read the Bible 5 or 10 times. But it's the clarity of this starts coming in. The more and more you read it, you'll see that it's true. You'll see, let's see. But you'll see that the more you study, the clarity itself, it starts popping out at you just more and more. So it is possible that you yourself could read that. I'm talking about the verses that we're reading, right? Psalms 82 and Psalms 115. And you can easily say to yourself, oh, surely that doesn't mean that. You can. Or you can just start taking what God has given us and start running with it, trusting him, and you'll just see things be a lot different in your life, right? So yesterday we talked about Lucifer a little bit, which that was about, by the way, that was half the questions were about that in the angels, by the way. But, you know, when Lucifer still, yeah, I guess we can put it that way. So when he was still in his like sinless state, right? Perfect angel of God in the garden, you know, sent to minister to Adam and Eve, because that's what angels do, right? And he saw the unconditional authority over the earth that God have given to man, which is us, right? He recognized that as an opportunity, right? And so we talked about that a little bit yesterday. So somebody go to Isaiah, let me see, 14, 12 through 14. We might have went over this verse yesterday. Sometimes I'll double up on them, but.
Isaiah 12.
The fly ball.
Isaiah 14, 12 through 14.
How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
Right. So obviously, I shouldn't have to point this out, but I'm going to point it out anyway. Look how funny this is what people think you're doing. Like, let's say yesterday I spoke to someone, brought them to the Lord, and I go, oh man, hey, bro, I saved somebody yesterday. What? Give me the two types of Christians that what's the type of feedback I'm going to get if I say, hey, man, yesterday I saved somebody yesterday, bro.
You're going to get the first feedback going to be like, glory to God, that's amazing. The next one's going to be like, you don't save nobody. Who told you save anybody?
Yeah, right. So
it wasn't you, brother. It was the Lord.
Right.
Remember that.
Right. So look, so because we don't want to offend, we try not to use that type of language. But the other side is always going to use that language. And then sometimes I just give them the business and say, hey, aren't we past that? Like, you do know that I mean God, right? Well, you didn't say that. It's like, oh my gosh. So it never ends, right? And this is what they're running from, because so many sermons have been talked about regarding this, about how I, you did nothing. And I mean, they put this fear, you ain't, and I'm telling you right now that the majority of Christians today, that's why they don't feel like they can do anything. Because when these guys talk about you didn't do nothing, they make it sound as though you have no authority, and it contradicts the Bible. When you're so focused on trying to take the person out of the God, like if it's just God and the human doesn't even exist, you're going too far. It's not true. You do have authority. Now, you should know that you're not the one that's saving someone. You should know that. But again, if there was 100 of us and we were together for 3 or 4 years, we wouldn't have to tell each other that. We would all know what the other person is saying because we know them. But a lot of times we don't know. We don't know the person. And so instead of giving them the benefit of the doubt that they're saying that God did it, you just start attacking them saying, you don't do nothing. I'm telling you right now, that type of preaching has hurt people to believe that they have no authority. And it's a lie. You do. You have 100% have a huge authority that's been given to you. Now, it's been given to you by God. So there's nothing great about you in the sense of just you. But in a sense of what God has given you, you are great in God's eyes, or he would have never given it to you. So he trusts you with that authority. And the sad thing is people fight against it rather than trying to understand what that authority is, so we can be above every situation in our life. So do what?
Brother Trent, one moment. So that means that the Lord gives us authority, but we also have to take action. If we don't take action,
yeah, we'll get to the action. We'll get to the action. Okay. Y'all just trust me. We'll get there. I'm trying to break apart some misconceptions before I start laying it on thick. All right. So we'll get there. Just be patient. Everybody's on different levels, and I'm doing the best that I can, I promise. But with this verse right here is one of the verses that I have 100 times, lots of times, heard pastors use to kind of show you how prideful Satan was being. And quite frankly, it's not hard to see, because it talks about, oh, Lucifer, son of the morning, and it goes into the thou hast, said in thy heart. And then you start getting into, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt myself. I will sit also upon the mount. I will ascend above the clouds or something. And then I will be like the Most High. I mean, bro, I. So people read this and they're like, and you better be careful. Don't be saying I. And that, boy, they will push you in that pulpit. And I'm telling you, someone starts talking about your authority and all they remember is that pastor's sermon. And that's why they'll attack you. Hey, don't say I, you're going to be like Satan. Bro, We're humans. Satan's not. We're humans. Satan's not. He didn't have the authority to say I. We do. Lucifer didn't have the authority to say I, but we do. Y'all see the difference or not yet?
Yeah, that wasn't his place. That's but we have the place to do that.
Right. So if we have the place to do that, why are so many pastors telling you to take the I out of it when God wants you to put the I in it? You'd be surprised how many wigs get thrown back when I just point out that one simple thing. They keep treating Lucifer as though he's human, like if he was the second Adam. Like if God made Adam and then he made a second Adam, and that second Adam was like, I will do this. Wasn't that an angel? That was an angel that did that. Did Adam say, I will do this? Did Adam do that? Did it show that that's what Adam was doing? No. That's not what happened. He was lied to. As a matter of fact, the one that said, I, the one that said, I will do this, I will do that, I will do that. What he said was, I am going to go lie to Adam and Eve. I am going to murder. I am going to unalive them. That's what he did. It was all about him for real. But don't have a fear that somehow that when you say I, you're being prideful like Satan. Where are you getting the understanding that you're an angel? You're not. You're not an angel. You're a son of God, one who has been born again, who has been redeemed. The Father has already proven his love for you already. You don't have to prove your love to him. He loved you first because you couldn't love him first. He loved you first. The Bible says, while you are his enemy, Christ died for us. While you were his enemy. So now how much more does he love you? And he gave you that authority for a reason, right? And just like Living by Faith was saying that you have to take action towards that. And we'll get to that. But right now I'm trying to break apart this idea that you're wrong if you believe that God gave you authority. You're not wrong. Matter of fact, you need to repent from thinking you're wrong. You need to you need to change your mind and believe that you have what God has already given you through his son, through Christ, right? But Lucifer, with this I will do this mentality, he saw that if he could get Adam and Eve to yield to him, right? Like we talked about yesterday, to rebel against God, then he could become the new God, right, of this world. Again, through the power of God, we received authority. We received dominion to be gods, lowercase g, over this earth. And Satan wanted to be God, the new God over this earth. And he understood some things regarding choice. He knew. He just had to get Adam and Eve to yield to him. Matter of fact, somebody go to 2 Corinthians 4. It might be verse 3 or 4. Who's got it? Pop up.
Okay.
Okay, so you're the only. Okay, so you're in outfield by yourself. Okay, I got it.
I
got it.
I'm trying to give others
All right. Well, who's on first?
Hey,
Who's on first?
I got. I'm obviously first. Okay. 2 Corinthians.
Nobody got that.
No. Who's
All
on
right.
first? What's on second? I got it. All right, 2 Corinthians what?
4:3 or 4:4.
Okay. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine unto them.
Okay, so Paul is writing this, right?
Yep.
And why does he call Satan the god of this world? I haven't been through any of this. I feel like I could talk about this for a month by itself, to be honest.
He took dominion off of Adam.
Right, but I never go as far and say the God thing because it trips people out. But he knew what I'm saying is, why would he call Satan God of this world? Why? Why would he give him that title?
That's what he wanted to be. God of his.
Well, yeah, but
Didn't he say there's a scripture in the Old Testament calling him the God of the earth?
no, but I'm saying why. I'm saying why it. I don't want to give the answer.
Because he has the fallen Adam's dominion.
Well, that's close. That's close.
Yeah, because he's fallen. He's fallen just like this world is fallen.
No.
Took the dominion of a soul.
Now, listen to the words I'm using. Why is Paul calling Satan God of this world?
Because he's the father of the fallen.
No. We just went over it.
Because he has dominion.
No. Listen to the words that I'm using. Listen to the words.
All right, try to say it again.
Why is Paul calling Satan God of this world? God. He didn't say he's a dominion holder. Calls him God. No, quit saying authority. He's calling him God, for God's sakes.
People give him power.
Oh, my Lord.
I don't know. Give us the answer. Microwave it.
Because the flesh worships him as a god.
No, because Adam was God of this world. That's why.
He took our position.
No. Because Adam was God of this world. That's why. How come nobody's using that word? You too scared? You see? You see what I'm telling you? I'm showing you how all of us have been indoctrinated to be scared to use these words. I'm going to say it again. Paul the Apostle was sent by Christ, right?
Yes.
So was Paul wrong by calling Satan the God of this world?
No.
So why do you think he would use that word if it wasn't true? You think he was being funny?
So hold on, just to confirm this. So that means that Adam, when he was in the garden, he was naming all the animals, knowing that your naming is like your owning. So the creation kind of served Adam. The creation was serving Adam as Elohim inside of the garden.
Okay,
that was what was taken.
All right, let me make this real simple. Just be honest. Want an honest answer. When Jesus was walking this earth, would it be easy to say that he was God on earth?
Yes.
Why is it easy to say that?
He
Because
literally
he
like
was-
everything.
We got the whole picture in the Bible.
Why is it easy to say that Jesus was God walking the earth? Why is that easy?
Because I know that Jesus is God.
All right, no. All right, let's back off. Listen, right now it's not 2024. See, what y'all are doing is y'all looking at the whole story. No. Let's say you're walking around the earth in the days that Jesus was there. What was he doing that would make you believe that's God?
Miracles.
Because of his dominion, not miracles. Because of his dominion, his authority over the earth. That's why.
Right.
Adam, the first Adam, had the same authority that was given to him. Why do you think Paul called him the last Adam?
Because he's made out of the good ground.
And me and you, we had this conversation offline, Trot. We were talking about how the people weren't surprised by the miracles. They were surprised at the fact that he was doing the miracles without a staff. That was what they were surprised. Like, what authority does this man speak?
Yeah. It was.
The contention was never the miracle.
Yeah.
It was the authority in which he spoke that made people say, "Hold on, who is this dude?
Of course, he had
like
authority.
Yeah, but the scribes and the Pharisees, see him doing these things, and there doesn't have to be a lot of verses that show this. All you have to do is look at what the scribes and the Pharisees read. They knew all the prophets did these things. They knew, so Jesus didn't carry a staff. There was nothing about him that would make them believe that he is doing it the way people in the Old Testament were doing it. So they straight up asked him, under whose authority do you do this? Who are you? Where do you come from? Instead of them recognizing he has authority, they wanted to know where he got the authority from. Who are you? They wanted to have a dialogue. But in that day, we call it miracles, yes. Oh, it was miraculous. Look at this miracle. But wasn't Jesus just being himself?
Yes, that's why he said the Son can only do what he sees the Father do. So he's telling them where he got the authority from, and it went right over their head.
Yeah. So again, just pay attention. Slow down. Slow your mind down, please. Whoever you are. Slow. I can feel how fast your mind is running right now. Just listen to what I'm saying. Paul wrote in 2 Corinthians 3 or 4, forgive me for not knowing which one says it. It might be 4, because I think she said it. Paul called Satan God of this world. He called him that because Paul understood that he took the dominion that was given to the first Adam. He took it. So now he's God of this world. Adam was God of this world. Let me ask you, if Adam was God of this world, does that mean God no longer existed? So the first Adam was God, capital G? Is that what that means?
No. But here's
let me ask this. Hold on a second. Let me say this. Then how come that's what people hear? If you say Adam was God of this world, why do they hear that you're taking something away from capital G God? Why is it that they're not just understanding that God gave dominion to man himself? He gave that dominion to man. It's kind of like you have a son, and let's say he's in high school, 16, 17 years old, and he's driving your $100,000. I'm just giving you an example. He's driving your $100,000 brand new 2024 Ford King Ranch truck, 350, by the way, diesel, Cummins engine. And an older man, 40 years old, let's say the younger one cuts that man off. He didn't do it on purpose, but he's in high school and he made a mistake, but he cut this dude off. And the old man drives beside him, says, "Put your window down." So the boy puts his window down. "What? Who do you think you are? Take that truck back to your dad." Why does a man speak to a young boy like that? And that kind of, why does he say, "You take that truck back to your dad"? Why is he taking something away from him that his dad gave him?
Because he feels like he didn't earn it.
Yeah. You don't deserve it. You don't earn it. And by the way, the guy that's yelling at that kid drives a 1995 Chevy pickup that's missing the bed, by the way. When he sees that young kid driving that, so he starts yelling at him, mad at him. Now, he's wrong for cutting him off. But I'm saying, just as it's easy for someone to try to take something away, they don't have the right or authority to take that away. It was given to him by his Father. So I'm telling you, when you start talking about authority and your dominion in this world, when you talk about it, they are going to see you as a snot-nosed brat that you don't know what you're talking about, and you're trying to take things from daddy. Now you got to remember, this person's claiming to be Christian. They're claiming to be a Christian here. So if you're saying dad gave me authority, then what are they hearing? If they don't believe,
Dad didn't give me authority.
right? So if they don't believe in the authority thing, then you're claiming that you're something that you're not. They'll start bringing up verses. Be careful not to not to think of yourself more highly. Is it thinking of yourself more highly if God gave it to you? Is that thinking of yourself more highly? No, but that's what's been taught. So how are you going to put your hands on the sick? How are you going to be ministering to a person, imagining the seed entering their heart? How are you going to be doing these things if you don't see yourself as God sees you? How can you do it then?
Can't.
You'll never be able to. So some of these lies, this wrong teaching that has taken away your authority from who you are in God out of fear is what's not going to allow you to utilize your authority in this world. It's those things. So understanding how God's kingdom works, right? Talking about Lucifer, by the way, right? He knew that if he could trick Adam and Eve into yielding to, like obeying him, which we went over this before, then he could become their master. He knew 100%. He knew. And now we see the effect of it. But what I'm saying is he knew this. So then he could take the power and authority that was given to them by God and he could use it basically to begin to stop or to thwart the kingdom of God, to like the transition of praise, if you will. I'm trying to make this as short as I can. So, I don't want to use that word. Lord have mercy. I'm not on this app. Oh, I got like a whole sentence to say and I can't. So, he's just trying to get the praise to be transitioned from God, capital G, to him, lowercase g at this point. This is why he wants to do this to Adam and Eve, because we see it taking place. But
are you saying he wants to be glorified?
Yeah. So he wants to be the one that's admired. Okay, we'll just say it like that. And wants everybody to desire him. Okay. But there's a topic that maybe we'll talk about another day. I just don't want to bring it up right now because of what's been happening. This exclamation marks every day, dude, for the past week, it seems like. But for God to maintain his integrity and stand by what he previously said, you have dominion, quote unquote, he had to give Adam and Eve their freedom. He had to give Adam and Eve their freedom, right? So, if they wanted to yield their authority and power over the earth to Satan, then technically it was their right to do so. And so we've talked about this a lot, that by choice, they're the ones that gave their authority and dominion to Satan by choice. By choice, they did this. So let me move this thing real quick.
This is a tough teaching, Trot.
Yeah, it's slow and vigorous. All right, so, but like we talked about, due to God's amazing love for mankind, Satan was allowed to become God of this world because Adam was God of this world. And people hate it when you talk about this. I've met so many people that get so mad when you say things like this. And I'm like, bro, how do you not see this? What even Paul the Apostle wrote down, he wasn't being facetious. This was not a funny matter. Paul's being serious in his letter, bro. Right? So instead of, like I talked about, instead of God just wiping us out and starting us all over again, God allowed what we did to stand, because he could have chose to just say, oh, no. But like I said, just because God knows everything doesn't mean he's the one that's playing chess. He may know what's going to happen, but he's the one that sees all the way down the road. He sees how the outcome of all this. So it's weird when people say God is allowing. No. It's not that he's allowing. Man has dominion, and they chose that. So, but God obviously allowed what happened to stand, right? But to take Adam's authority away from him and say, hold on, Adam. Oh, don't listen. Don't eat of this tree. That he would have been a liar. And I strongly believe that if he would have did that, I strongly believe that there would have been this very weird thing that would have, even different than what we see now, because it would have been Satan that would have made God a liar. And I think that would have been very, very different on what somehow Satan would have been sitting up there on that mountain with God, just like he was able to take, Adam and Eve's authority from them by their own choice. I'll say this to this day, I can't prove it, but so far through my studyings, I do see that he was going to try to use the dominion and authority that was given to Adam and Eve. He was going to try to use that to somehow, swindle God onto somehow messing up his integrity. And then he would have been able to be on that mountain. I know it sounds weird. I know it sounds funny. But if you start seeing how God's legal system works, if God was to lose his integrity, it'd be catastrophic. It'd kind of be like, I don't remember the name of that movie, like Riddick. Y'all ever seen that? The Chronicles of Riddick, I think, or one of them kind of Riddick movies.
Dre loves Vin Diesel.
City on the hill, would you say God can't be fooled? Absolutely not. But that's how we know. That's how prideful Satan was. That he thought he could swindle God. It's very weird. But what I'm saying is, in his mind, he understood that if he can get God to mess up his integrity, that he would be sitting on that mountain. I don't remember the exact name of that movie, but it's Chronicles of Riddick, one of them Riddick movies. But basically, there's these people that if you, like the one that's in charge, if you can unalive them, then you rule. It's kind of like Satan saw it like that. But God's integrity is gonna stay intact, which God proven, because Jesus comes and Satan tried to do the same thing to this Adam, and he wasn't able to do it. And he should have known, or there's something different about this. All right, let me move on. I think we've already talked about that. The angel part, we talked about that yesterday. So we are the ones who enabled Lucifer to leave his position in heaven, right? To come into a fallen state, rule the earth as Satan, the god of this world, like Paul tells us, right? But it was us that enabled Lucifer to leave his position in heaven. It was because of us. The envy or jealousy, if you want to call it that, the dominion that we had, because he knew that he couldn't just rebel against God. He had to have something there to rebel. And so whenever he took Adam and Eve's authority away from them, now he was empowered with like a type of authority that he was able to rebel against God. And I know it took me a minute for me to see that. So when people say, oh, so he didn't have a choice to rebel against God in heaven? No, he did, but he didn't have any authority to do it. And that is what's not easy to explain when you try to get someone to understand that angels don't have souls. So there's nothing about them that they can like empower themselves to actually rebel against God. There's nothing there. But whenever Lucifer got Adam and Eve's authority, now he has authority on the earth, and this is how he's rebelling against God, is by doing what he wants to do while he's here, right? So Adam and Eve made Satan who he was by giving him their power and authority. I've said this before, and it causes confusion. It shouldn't. You need to understand that when I'm talking about Adam and Eve making Satan, I'm not saying they sat down and formed Satan out of the dust. I'm saying God is who created Lucifer. God did. But when Adam and Eve gave their authority over to Lucifer, he became our adversary. So by what we did is how Lucifer became Satan, or the devil, or the adversary. So we made him. And I've had people laugh about this and say, "Oh, so we can create." I don't think they're understanding what type of power and authority that was given to us in this world. Like I said before, Adam was a god in this world. That's why Paul in 2 Corinthians calls Satan the god of this world. That's why. And this is why you have people believe that in the Old Testament that all the bad things that you see, what that God that we're calling God in the Old Testament, they say that that's Satan. Since Satan is God of this world, then that's him doing all those bad things. So anytime you see like God talking to Moses or all this, there are people that believe that that is Satan. And they're like, yeah, because he's God of this world. Oh, man. Yeah, I get your...
What?
Yeah, there's people that believe that, bro. I've met them. Dozens. I've met dozens of them that believe that the God in the Old Testament is Satan. And where they get some of this from is how Paul calls Satan God. And it's like, yeah, bro, but, you know, I don't argue with them because it's kind of like talking to a sovereign citizen. I don't know if y'all know. Does anyone know what a sovereign citizen is? Anybody?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've met a lot of those guys in my line of work.
Well, I'll tell you, I remember, let's just say I was looking for dope. We'll just say that DRUGS. I was looking for it. I found a bunch that day, and I feel like I'm going to break my record this day. And I pull this guy over, and the first thing that comes out of his mouth is, he's like, "Hey, you feel like wasting your day today?" I said, "I ain't wasting my day. Get out of your car." "I ain't getting out of my car." Anyway, I'm not going to go through the whole spiel. But he starts telling me, "I'm a sovereign citizen, and this is not he told me his vehicle was not a motored vehicle. I said, "Sir, according to traffic code, that's a motored vehicle." "No, it's not. It's a vehicle propelled by a fan." He said. I said, "Sir, that's what a motored vehicle." "No, it's not. It's propelled by a fan. It's not a motored vehicle." And he goes, you don't have a right to do it, bro. He tried to hand me a manila folder. I swear it was like this thick. And he's like, "You got to read that whole thing before you do this and before you do that." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I tell you what." I said, "Are you telling me?" Because he started telling me, "Well, you're not smart enough to understand what I'm saying." And I'm just sitting there listening, traveling, not driving. Oh, that is what he said. He said, "You can't stop me from traveling, and I'm not what do you say? I'm not trading currency." And I'm just listening to this dude, and I let him finish. His spiel, and I said, "Hey," I said, "Are you telling me that I'm too dumb?" Because he said something that was like, "You're too dumb to understand what I'm saying." I said, "Are you saying that I'm too dumb to understand?" "Yeah." I said, "Do you think a lawyer or a judge is smart enough to understand all that junk you're saying?" "Yeah, one of them will be, but not you." I said, "Good. Turn around, put your hands behind your back. You're going to go meet one right now." I said, that way you can explain to them, hey, he didn't say another word. I put him back there, took him up there. I took him straight to the magistrate. I said, "Hey, this guy said he's got something to tell you." Oh, man. Hold on a second. It happened again. Another exclamation mark. Lord have mercy. Anyway, I'm saying all that because people treat the Bible the same way. They treat the Bible the exact same way that, you know, the Bible says that we have authority, and it's true. We have authority, but the authority that ended up taking charge of this was Satan himself, and he's the devil in the Old Testament. And you're like, bro, how do you still not see God? And you can ask some of these people, have you ever seen God, like the regular God? Have you ever seen him in the Old Testament? And they'll tell you no. And you're like, okay, and you'll just show them anything. It doesn't matter what it is. And it's like, okay, what about this person right here? Does that sound like Satan? Yep, it's Satan. I'm telling you, I've met a whole bunch of them, and they don't care what you have to say. Satan is the god of this world. Therefore, that was the God in the Old Testament. And I wouldn't waste your time with you. You're gonna be there arguing with them all day long. Like this guy, the Sovereign Citizens, they'll argue with you. I've seen them argue with cops for 20 minutes on the side of the road. And I'd go up there and be like, hey, bro, come here. And I'll tell that cop, what are you doing? He goes, oh, well, you know, I said, bro, move on. Either give the guy a citation, take him to the, you know, to the bar place, or, you know, I can't even say that word. Take him to the BAR. It's a different kind of BAR, though. But I was like, man, just move on. Lord have mercy. All right, but it was us that made Satan, right? The adversary. We did. God didn't make him an adversary. Lucifer was an angel, right? And so the devil's not using a superior power and authority against us. He's not. It's our own power and authority that he uses against us. And that's true to this day. It is your own choice to this day that he uses against you. It's just he's in a position to do that now. Before, he wasn't in a position to do that, but now he is. And he's there rightfully so, because mankind gave him that authority, right? So, you know, but, all right, we talked about that yesterday. Man, excuse me. Man, we talked about that yesterday too. Okay, but Satan now, right? He has our authority, but in himself, on his own, he's powerless. And that is, man, that has to be understood. He's 100% powerless. You can talk to people today, especially ones that like cast out demons, or that's what they're claiming they're doing. I'm not saying there's people really doing it or not really doing it. There are people that claim they do it and they don't. And there are people that actually cast out demons. I mean, it happens in a very weird way, but it can happen. But when you talk to some of these people that talk about this, or you'll see them cast out, they will say that Satan's got all the power. He's a strong, and they talk more about how strong Satan is more than you, and before you know it, you're just powerless. What? I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said, Bill.
We got Rebecca came up. I don't know if she had a question or not.
Oh, Rebecca, what's up? What's on your mind? You just come up to hang out? Okay, she just came up to hang out.
Sorry about that. I didn't even know that I was up here.
Oh, you're fine.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'll hang out in the comments section.
Yeah,
okay?
whatever you want to do.
Somebody else come up.
Whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay. But 100% he's powerless. But you'll have these people that will make you believe he is the strongest thing, since the movie Star Wars came out. You know, he's stronger than Darth Vader. To be honest with you, I think Darth Vader would beat up Satan. I'm just being honest with you. Because Darth Vader was human. Even though he was like 80% or 90% mechanical at some point, or no, he was fully human and then became like 80, 90% robot or whatever. But Darth Vader is human. So the joke is every human, it doesn't matter what they are, has more power than Satan does. But don't allow people to make you believe that Satan has all the power and you don't. And I'm telling you, I've heard these people, and you'll see them, they go around looking to, set people free. Everything's about oppression and, possession. Like their whole ministry is based on demons. Like they know more about demons than they do anything else. They talk about them all the time. They have conversations with demons. And I'm telling you, I've heard these people make it very clear that Satan is very powerful. And it's crazy how they talk about how powerful Satan is. And a lot of times it scares believers to believing they have no authority over them, but it's not true. You do. Now, there are some that will say, but you have authority over him, and let me show you how to pull out a demon. I get it, but a lot of times they leave people scared too, not believing that they don't have. Our job is not to focus on what has power. First of all, Satan's a defeated foe. He has none. But our focus is not to talk about what has power outside of ourselves. We are to talk about what does have power, the truth. And God has all the power, and he gave us dominion of this world. And that is how we need to be speaking to one another, right? So only as, we allow or submit ourselves to Satan, that's when he's able to do anything. Outside of that, there is no power. He has nothing outside of that. So, the devil and his demons, right, as spirit beings, have no power and authority over this earth apart from physical human beings yielding it to them. So, demons cannot just enter you without, if you have no cooperation at all and they just enter you, take your body over and make you, act funny and do cartwheels and backflips and climb up walls or whatever thing you want to hear or see that people talk about that they do. But without your cooperation, it's impossible. It's not going to happen. They have to use your authority and your dominion in order to do that. So, let me see. We talked about that yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, that will lead to the studying of possession and oppression in a believer, right?
Yeah. So when you're talking about possession and oppression or oppressed and possessed, like in the Greek, it's the word there in the Greek, it literally is just talking about demonized. That's all it means. It's the same word. So if you're going in the New Testament and you read the word possession, it's going to be the word demonized. If you read the word oppression or oppressed, it's the word demonized. And to be demonized, it just means that you're not soberly minded. You're in your flesh. Like you are 100% carnal and you're acting out in the flesh. So it's funny, in English, we see this word oppressed or possessed. But again, in the Greek, it's not talking about being oppressed or possessed. It literally is the word demonized, meaning there is an outside entity that is somehow, what's the word?
Influence.
Yes, like an outside influence, okay? But you're in your flesh. So when people go around trying to minister oppression or possession, a lot of times, they're missing what that's talking about. It's just simply talking about being demonized, right? So the only reason Satan exists and functions is because people cooperate with him and empower him. You'll always hear me talk about Jason Voorhees or Freddy Krueger. Do y'all remember how Freddy Krueger is even able to even be Freddy Krueger? Does anybody remember?
In the dreams, in the imagination.
Yeah. So the only way that Freddy gets his power is because people think about him. That's it.
Man, are you going back, Trot, to every one of these stories is technically from the Bible and they're just rewrapping and
yes, dude, absolutely.
Oh, bro.
I'm sorry. Listen, if you don't want me to ruin your memories of your childhood, you need to stop coming to Descaled. I am going to what's the word? Expose. I am going to expose all these people that are make millions of dollars off the Bible. Let's see. So no offense, but it is what it is. And You know, there was a time I remember watching, the Freddy movie. Let me just say this: Freddy movies had never scared me. Never. I never saw him, and I was like, it never scared me. I was a kid, so I watched it, and and then you realize, wait a minute, this guy's unaliving everybody. Like there's a point right where it clicks. Like, wait a minute, why am I liking the fact that this dude's running around unaliving everybody? I think it clicked around 13, somewhere around there, where I was like, I just figured out like this movie's not cool at all, to be honest with you. Like this dude just going around terrorizing. He got knives for fingers or whatever, scissors for fingers or whatever it was. And I'm like, at some point it lost its power, like its pleasantness. It became no longer pleasant when I was able to put two and two together. Some people say, oh, well, at 8 years old, I knew he was unaliving, and it was it was a horrible thing. Okay, fine. Call me slow, whatever. But when it really clicked in my head, like, why is this cool? Like, why is it cool to watch this guy run around and unalive? It ain't. It's not cool, right? It's really not, man. I hate to say it, but for a few years there, I was like, oh, Freddy's going to get you. And then you're like, wait a minute. When we play Get You, we don't unalive. We just, you're it, and then you come get us. But in Freddy's movie, nobody else is it. Freddy's it. And when you get caught, you better not get caught by Freddy. Why? Because he don't play fair. You don't get to be it in Freddy's game, man. But
Freddy versus Jason's the imagination and the flesh ganging up on you.
Oh, well, we can twist it however we want when it comes to them fighting each other. But all this stuff is playing on your emotions. It's kind of like, think about it. If your movies are the most entertaining, everybody's going to get in their belly to watch it. If your food tastes the best, everybody's going to get in their belly to eat it. What you do is, if you want to become a millionaire, how do you appease someone's flesh? That's it. And I'm telling you, if you're not careful, you'll come up with some very dumb ideas. Sadly, it's going to sell. It's going to sell. That's what's sad. It doesn't matter how ridiculous your idea is. It's going to sell. People like to be entertained, and they will pay a lot of money to be entertained, to be in their belly, right?
You're talking about your Mary candles that you would sell if you were a atheist?
Oh, if I was an atheist, I'd be a millionaire, like overnight. Overnight, I would sell every religious product there was. By Mary alone, I'd become a millionaire. I'd probably be a multimillionaire. To be once I, started reading the Bible myself and started looking at how many different denominations and all of that, I was like, wow. As someone that didn't read the Bible, I didn't even know all that existed. I didn't even know it existed, bro. I had no clue. And then, you start reading the Bible, those are the kind of people you start talking to. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, man, I'm, again, it's just me. I'm like, man, God on purpose kept me away. When I was a person who did not read the Bible, he kept me away from this knowledge. Thankfully, he did. I would have been a multimillionaire with a lost soul. Oh, Lord. I would have figured out how to make combat. What are those beads called at the denomination of the Catholics? What are those beads called? Mary beads?
Rosary beads?
Oh, why is it called rosary?
I don't know.
It comes from the Rose of Sharon.
The Rose of Sharon, the rosary. Well, I swear I would have figured out how to make combat rosary beads. They would have been a hot hit. All right. Let me move on. All right. So let's see. Okay. So we talked about possession, oppression, because we're talking about Satan has no authority of you unless you're giving him authority of you. And that's why he always seeks to inhabit a body. What? The one guy, I think they got him. What? Tactical rosary beads? Oh, man, dude. Dre, I need a fact check on that, bro. Somebody, I swear I ain't never seen him. I promise I've never seen him, dude. I just threw that out there. Tactical rosary beads. Wow. It's going to be Mary holding an AK or something. So you're going to have an M4. I don't know. All right. So, all right. So we know he's looking for to inhabit a body, and Satan is a spirit, right? So he doesn't have a physical body, right? Somebody go to Ephesians 2:2. Pop fly. Who's got it? Nina can't do it. Nina, you're off limits on this one.
You're kidding me. Exactly. I'm not.
Who's reading? I need somebody to read Ephesians 2:2. Y'all gonna... Oh, who's that? Benny?
Yup.
All right.
I'll do the next one if we have another one after this.
Yeah. Real quick, there is combat rosary beads. There's World War I rosary combat beads. There's also combat handmade rosary beads. There's one that goes into like a little green. You know how we have those little butt packs? We call them butt packs in the Marine Corps that go on your belt. Your utility belt, and it goes on the back, so you keep like stuff in there, like I don't know, insulin, whatever.
Oh, it's supposed to be med pack. Yeah, your med pack. What about it?
Yeah. So it looks like a med pack, but it's your rosary in there, so you can like attach it to your belt.
Okay,
bro. Somebody recorded Trot when the face he made as soon as Drake confirmed that was a thing. Please send it to me.
Hold on. Hey, hold on, Drake. Okay, so you're saying the rosary's normal, but it's in a med pack?
It's called a pocket combat rosary.
All right, check it out. All right, that's close. I'm talking about like med pack, but then when you pull it out, bro, it looks like combat rosary. It's not. It doesn't even look that. It doesn't even look like a rosary other than the beads.
Look, bro.
No. All right.
Look.
All right, hold on. Let me get it up here real quick. Let me see. Yeah, that's the case. Let me see the rosary. Where's the rosary at? Bro, that looks like a regular rosary.
Well, how else? It's a combat rosary because it's made out of metal. It's not made out of like the regular whatever. So it's
probably wanted to have like spikes on it.
No, like the instead of it just being instead of it just being a cross, like it'd be like an upside down N4, like two of them look like a cross with a K-pot on top, like a Mitch helmet on top of it.
Well, that wouldn't sell because it has to have the cross, bro.
Bro, the cross it'd be two M4s making the cross back to back. The handles would be the. Oh man, I got it in my head. I guarantee if I made it.
See, you're not understanding Catholic doctrine, bro. See, if you understood Catholic doctrine, you would know you got to put this little angel on there. Where is he at?
Where
does he go? This is the guy that protects you. This guy protects you. This guy right here. So that's why it's a combat rosary because they have. Whatever this dude, I can't remember his name. I want to say it's Archangel Michael. See,
that's Archangel Michael.
He's the unalive.
Archangel Michael.
Okay, bro, he'll be on there. What's the problem? He'll be on there.
But you see how they wrapped it with
550 cord. It's 550 cord.
Yeah, the paracord right there. See it?
Yeah, I see it.
They put it in there.
Yeah. Oh, I told you, look, these guys right here, they're acting like they're Christians, bro. Look at that. They're $1 million geniuses, bro.
Look, why does Jesus look hungry, bro? I don't understand why.
Because he's been eating our MREs, bro. He's been eating our MREs.
No, he would have been constipated, not like that.
He would have been bloated. All right,
bros. Both of you.
All right. All right, let me move on.
Ephesians
2:2.
Wherein in time past ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience.
Right, the spirit that now worketh. The spirit that now worketh, which is his spirit, not God's spirit, his spirit. Because he's a spirit. He doesn't have a body. So he has to inhabit one. So if, it takes your cooperation for the devil to do anything in your life, which is why your actions are so important. Actions do matter. They do matter because your actions are going to bring him. You're either going to become an aroma that he likes, or you're going to be an aroma that God likes, right? So we already went over so many times the aroma of God, the sweet savor to him, which is the aroma of Christ. Or you can have a dead spirit and, you just have a stinky spirit, right? Not a sweet, savoring one. So your physical body is what gives you authority here on earth, which we've already went over that. Satan can't do anything without someone in this earth suit that we're in, right? Let's see. I heard somebody talking about Jesus the other day, and they were upset because somebody was saying something about Jesus being in an earth suit. And I think they're taking that way too literal. Like, it's easier for us to describe that as someone that's been redeemed. It's not so easy to talk about the flesh suit is evil in itself. Yeah, well, ours is. Jesus's flesh suit is not evil. It came from Eden, from the good ground. It's perfect. But when you're explaining it this way, I heard somebody saying the other day that, and I don't know why they were talking, hold on. I don't know why they were talking about the flesh suit or the earth suit regarding Christ, because the earth suit thing, the flesh suit, that really should be used to describe us. Dre, did you take the big screen or hold on?
No, you gave me the big screen. You never gave it back.
Oh, I thought I did. Okay, my bad. But when you're describing the flesh suit or the earth suit to someone, you're only doing that to show, because the Bible talks about this being dead and that your soul and spirit is inside of it. And the soul is what's getting the body to do. You can do things of God or you can do things of Satan, but the soul is in there making this earth suit because it's not one with us yet. We don't have a glorified body. But when you hear people trying to describe that and they talk about Jesus being in an earth suit, that's kind of where you have a semi problem, because Jesus's flesh wasn't dead like ours. It was one. He was in his spirit, soul, and body was in alignment. It's not like ours. And they go, well, he still has to be in a suit. Well, yeah, if you want to go to the scriptures that talk about that Jesus was poured out from the Father, he came from the Father's bosom, of course, you can say that the spirit and soul of God entered into the body of Jesus. I get that. But when you're talking about the flesh suit and earth suit, it's really supposed to be regarding us that has been redeemed. It's not wrong to talk about it when you're talking about Jesus, but you can really give a wrong impression about that pretty quick, because Jesus's body was perfect. So it wasn't like he was just in a suit. They were lined up, right? So, but every time that we move away from what God's word says, right, and act in union with what the devil is trying to say, or believing what he is saying, which is the flesh, we yield that authority to him. Like you yourself being redeemed, the authority has already been given back to you, but you can yield that authority to him because your flesh has its own desires, and you can yield. Your soul can, instead of looking at the mirror, which is the Spirit of God living in you, you can face the flesh and you can yield that authority back over to Satan. Now, again, that would be in your carnal mind, but that is the seed of Satan. Right? So every time you quit believing and receiving God's supernatural power and ability, and you believe in sin, right? Instead, you empower the enemy. So that's instead of being soberly minded, you become intoxicated by the flesh, and that's going to lead to sin, right? So Satan can only function as he keeps people submitted to himself through lies and deception. That's what he did in the beginning. His tactics may vary But the foundation of what he does is he's a liar, just like the Bible says. He's a liar from the beginning. So I'm just going to go over some verses that basically we went over. I'm just going to ask some questions based on those verses, just to kind of see if you're understanding the key points that I'm trying to make with the verses at hand, right? That's discussing the God of this world, right? Which we know first it was Adam, and then it was Satan, which used to be Lucifer. So we went over Psalms 115:16, and it says, that verse says that God has given the earth to whom? Does anybody remember, or does somebody want to read it? The children what?
The children of God.
The children of God? Is that what it says?
Of men.
Does it say children of men? Is that what it says?
I can read it over.
That's fine. Read it. You're close. I think you said it right, but let's read it just for everybody else.
1:15:16. Even the heavens are the Lord's, but the earth hath he given to the children of men.
Right, to the children of men. Right. So the earth he has given to the children of men. How is Lucifer described in Isaiah 14, 12 through 14? We read it earlier. He's described there. Not everybody at one time. Let's see. He's described as... Oh, man, I thought I had it right here. Hold on.
Unknown caller.
This is question.
What was the question one more time, Trot?
Yeah, so in Isaiah 14, 12 through 14, how is Satan described?
You're talking about like how he's... Oh, sorry.
How is he described?
Again.
How is he described?
As prideful, saying he's going to exalt himself over God. In those verses.
Yeah, somebody read it. Let's read it real quick.
I'll read it. I will read it.
You already got it?
I already have it, but I was going to go on my way. If you want to do it, you can.
I got it. Psalm 14, what? 13 to 14, you said?
No, I already got it. It's all
okay,
good.
Go ahead.
How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
Okay, so how's he described?
He's exalting himself.
With authority and power.
Self-promoting.
Hey, guys, y'all discuss it. Y'all discuss it. I'll be right back.
And he believes that he can be above God.
All right, so
he's a prideful usurper.
All right, so one thing, okay, so there are two ways that he's being described, but I'm wondering why nobody is describing one of the ways that's there, or you're not repeating it.
The morning?
Huh?
son of the morning.
Yeah, how come nobody said that?
We didn't want to make him sound good.
Yeah, you didn't want to make him sound good. You didn't want to make him sound good. Look, listen. So again, I'm just showing something. Nobody ever wants to make Satan or Lucifer sound good, and they don't want to make it sound like they're uplifting themselves. It's okay to say what the Bible says. It's not you saying it. But it says, "Oh, Lucifer, son of the morning." That's what he was called. He was described as son of the morning. So if Lucifer was described as son of the morning, was he created or made evil? No. But it says that thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend. So he started choosing to have this type of what's the word? Like oh no, I can't use that word.
Thinking?
No, like insubordination, like this insubordinate attitude, like this rebellious attitude against God, all on his own. And we get in a scary place when we say that God made Lucifer to do that. No, he had a choice. He didn't make him to. So we see verses that say that God creates evil. We see verses that say that there are vessels of these kind and vessels of them kind. We see that and we say, okay, well, the Bible does say that Pharaoh, right, that he made Pharaoh that way on purpose. Well, Pharaoh is a shadow of Satan. That's what Pharaoh is. Egypt is a shadow of the world. Egypt was. And Satan was the god of it. Pharaoh was the god of it. And a man was sent into Egypt who had a rod, and God said to him, you will be a god to Pharaoh. It is showing a shadow that a man was going to have the authority and dominion given to him by God, and that was the first Adam. But he failed. And so the last Adam was the one that was all this foreshadowing that was sent into the world, which is Egypt, and that used the authority that was given to him by the Father and conquered Pharaoh, which is the god or king of the world. Y'all see what I'm saying? Yes? No? Maybe so. So it says, "Oh, Lucifer, son of the morning." But that's what Lucifer was, not Satan. See, right now we're really talking about Satan or the devil or the adversary. And so when we start talking about Lucifer, we talk about Lucifer as though he's the devil. We have to be able to set apart the two. Lucifer, who God created, was not the devil. He was not Satan. It was Adam. It was mankind that made Satan. Mankind did that. God did not make that. But he removed himself from Satan. And so when he says to the serpent, if you don't know that serpent, listen, I'm not going to go through the details, but if you can't see that the serpent is Lucifer, if you can't see that it's the sin that was found in him, the iniquity found in him, I'm not going to argue about it. But that's what this is, okay? It wasn't just a snake. It wasn't just a snake that was crawling around and did this. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. This all has to point to Lucifer. All of it does, okay? Man, I'm sorry. I got a thing right here. Man, that hurt yesterday. I hit my arm on this.
Don't you take away my Veggie Tales, Trot.
Yeah, Veggie Tales. Yeah, I watched was it Samson or Noah? I think it was a Noah one, Veggie Tales. I don't remember which one that I watched. I think it was my niece. Somebody was watching it, and I was like, bro, is that Noah? I think it was Noah. And I was like, bro, is that the Noah story? And like, is that a cucumber and a tomato? Like, what's going on here? But it was kind of cool, though, I ain't gonna lie. So All right, I'm almost done with this. I'm almost done. Let me get this. All right, so don't be afraid to say what the Bible says. The Bible says that Lucifer was called the son of the morning. Now he's the adversary, right? Because of us. We did it. We allowed him to have the authority, and thank God for God's love, grace, and his mercy. He came back and he took those keys, took that authority back from Satan, and it has been given back to us through the last Adam. And so we already went over 2 Corinthians 4:4, and it says that the God of this world has blinded the minds of unbelievers. That's what it says. I'm throwing that part out there. I didn't emphasize on it, but I have a asterisk here that it talks about him blinding the unbelievers, right? What does it say that the unbelievers are blinded from? What did Satan blind them from? 2 Corinthians 4:4.
2 Corinthians 4:4, which says,
blinded them from the light of the gospel of
What
Christ.
does it say? Blind them from what?
It says, blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ.
So the light of the gospel, that's what he blinded them from, right?
That's
right.
What I see.
So how are we in agreement that that's what he's blinding them from?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So how is he able to blind them from the light of the gospel? From the light of the gospel. From the light of the gospel. How is he able
by keeping them in the dark?
Okay, because he's darkness, right?
Right.
Okay, but if he is called son of the morning, which means he's light, how is he now darkness then? How is Lucifer now darkness? Anybody?
because he stole the dominion.
But how is he darkness? How is he I didn't say where did he get dominion
he was given
from?
over to a reprobate mind.
Okay, right. So God removed himself from him, correct? Because God is light. Huh?
I said yes, and only God can do that.
And only God can do that. So this is how God creates evil. I don't know why this becomes I don't know why my DMs are being blown up by, does God create evil? This is not hard. When God creates anything, it is made with light because he made it. But only God can make the decision to remove himself from that which he made. And if he decides to do that whatever that is, it becomes darkness. And let me ask you this. If God removes himself from something, is it now evil?
Yes.
So how is it so how is it made or created evil? How?
The absence of light.
Okay, again, how is that, whatever it is, how is it made evil?
Because it chose that it wanted a reprobate mind.
No, because the thing you're talking about that chose that cannot make itself evil. How is that thing made evil? How?
Oh yeah, God takes the light from it.
Okay,
God takes
right, but the just to get straight to the jugular, God made it evil. That's how. God made it evil.
Oh, well, yeah.
By removing himself,
not for nothing.
By removing himself from it, he made it evil. He created it evil by removing himself. Nothing has the power to make itself evil. Nothing does.
Right.
Nothing outranks God. Nothing is stronger than God.
Nope.
God is, hey, Christian, with your ad libs, where's CJ? Is CJ teaching you to ad lib everything that I'm saying, or what's going on? Are you done working?
I can't be here. He's at work.
Hit mute.
Bad company corrupts good morals.
Oh, Bird. Hey, I'm telling you, bro. Christian's just waiting for his day. Wait a minute. Christian, didn't you burn somebody the other day, bro?
Yeah, he burned me.
What did he say? What did he say?
Bill said he was taking his dog out on a walk, and I asked him if they let them out of the home that late at night because it's dark and dangerous.
Oh, because it's dark and dangerous.
Out of the senior center.
All right, okay.
Senior center, yeah.
Oh, at the senior center. Where's Jessie at? She's the one that started
it the home.
The home. Let me see. Saba, what'd you say? So God removed himself from Lucifer and Adam separated himself from God. Yeah, so, yeah, right. So God did not remove himself from Adam. Lucifer chose, right? Because he hadn't done this yet, but he was already contemplating it. So God tells Adam, hey, don't eat, meaning don't listen to him. But whenever Adam did eat from him, meaning believing what Lucifer said, it caused Adam to become unalive spiritually. So now Adam is separated from God, and that's why God asks the serpent, or not ask, but he tells the serpent, or I'm sorry, he blames the serpent and says, because you have done this. So God knows where this came from. Because you have done this, he tells him. So and then he tells him, to the belly may you go, and may you eat dust all the days of your life. And regarding the entire Bible, it's important to understand the belly, how the Bible is talking about this. Paul said that there's these people that they are the enemies of the cross, for their belly is their God. This is talking about a person all through the Old Testament. You have Eglon as a very fat man. When it's talking about Jonah being swallowed by the large fish, and he's in the belly of the whale, he calls that place hell. So yes, we can say, because the story is that Jonah was swallowed by a large fish, and it's true. It's not a lie. A physical man was swallowed by a big fish. But when you start understanding how the belly is used in the Bible, it's talking about when you separate yourself from God, you are in Sheol. You're in hell. It's a separation. And that's the place that Adam was in, separated from God. And so every person that came after Adam was separated from God, but not because God removed himself from mankind. It was because man gave their dominion to Lucifer, and he became the adversary. And so God removed himself from Satan when he said, to the belly you may go. This is not merely telling a snake to lay down. He says, and may you eat dust all the days of your life. Jesus said, believers in me, out of their belly will flow rivers of living water, not dust. That's why the Bible explains demons searching for dry places. Why? Because that aroma is more pleasing to them than the aroma of God. So they know where to go. They don't go where God. You can't have Satan and Jesus living inside of you. I don't know where people are getting this. It will never happen. Where the light is, dark cannot be, and where dark is, light doesn't want to be. Period. The end. So when God removed himself from Lucifer, he became evil. So when the Bible talks about God creating evil, that is how he creates evil. He doesn't just he doesn't grab soil from Eden and says, all right, I'm going to take this perfect soil and make something evil. So when people say, okay, well, he knew he was going to be evil. Listen, duh. I don't know why people think that they have to. No, there is no rookie. Someone who got saved yesterday that doesn't understand God knows everything. I've never met one, and I've met thousands of people that are Christians, rookies, and I've never met one that says that they don't believe God knows everything. I haven't. I'm not saying they don't exist, but even atheists, if you were to ask an atheist, hey, atheist, do you think Christians believe that God knows everything or not? Most of them will say, oh, no, Christians believe he knows everything. But in the Bible right here, it says that Jesus didn't know everything because he was going to go to this party. And he's like, no, I'm not going to go over there. So then Jesus lied. And it says right here, only the Father knows. I don't know. And they know all the verses to kind of take you away from what it is you believe, but they don't believe. That's the thing.
And in Jeremiah, Trot, he said that the Lord lied to these people.
All right. Well, let's not go over all of them, Christian. I just brought up a couple just to prove my point. So, all right, let's go because I got a few more verses to go over. Okay. So we talked about blinding, that the God of this world blinded the light of the gospel from unbelievers. What does the Bible tell us? Who is in the image of God?
Born again believers.
Right. Mankind that are born again, right? They're in the image of God. So according to Psalms 119, what is settled in heaven? Who's going to go there? Psalms 119:89.
I got it. Have to shoot fast from the hip to even attempt. It's quiet earlier. Psalms 119. And you said you wanted me to start where?
Yeah, 119:89.
119:89. Forever, O Lord, thy word is settled in heaven.
So what's settled in heaven?
Thy word.
God's word. God's word is settled in heaven. So let's go to Malachi 3:6. Does the Lord change? Now I know everybody knows the answer, but let's go read it anyway. Malachi 3:6.
Malachi. That's a rare one.
Is that the one that says God is not a man, that he will not change?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Got it. Malachi 3:6.
I got it. It says, "For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed."
Okay, so Malachi 3:6 tells us does the Lord change or not?
No.
So it says, right, Malachi 3:6, that he doesn't change.
No.
All right, so let's go to Hebrews.
Hey, real quick.
What's up?
Quick, try. Looks like you need a mod on YouTube.
Okay, well, I need someone to get there. Do I not have one on there?
I'm not.
There's
sure
about 20 people. There's about 20 people in there.
I'm
I don't know
there,
who has
and
my powers.
I blocked one person because they were being very,
Okay, well, I need at least two then because let's see.
I'm here and there.
Hebrews what, Trot?
Oh, they're talking about Marshall Dixon. No, I think Marshall Dixon that person's probably bored. Just leave him alone. I don't see him acting too silly.
I'll keep an eye.
Yeah, they're just, guys, don't block and do all that just because people are disagreeing or whatever. That's fine. Unless it gets crazy. It's no big deal. They're probably just bored or something. All right, where are we at?
Hebrews what, Trot? We're just going to Hebrews what?
Yeah, Hebrews 1. Let's read 3. Because this is telling us that Jesus is the brightness of his Father's glory and the what?
The express image of his person.
Right, the expressed image of his person. So Jesus was first the image of God before we became the image of God, right?
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. So, and God doesn't change, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So let's go to Luke 8:30. Somebody read Luke 8:30 and tell me what's the question that Jesus asked in 8:30.
Luke 8:30. Okay. That would be. Oh man, I almost opened right to it. And Jesus asked him, saying, "What is thy name?" And he said, "Legion, because many devils were entered into him."
Okay. So let's I'm trying to get to a point here, but I don't want to give the answer away. All right. So we already know in Genesis 1 26, right, through 27, 28, 29, right? We know that God blessed man and woman and told them to be fruitful, right? To multiply, replenish the earth, and to do what? It says, be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, and do what?
Subdue it.
And subdue it. So let's go to John 4:24. And at John 4:24 tells us that God is something. What is God? John 4:24.
Spirit.
Is that what it says?
Yeah, God is a spirit.
Okay. And it says, how does the Bible tell us how we must worship? Read John 4:24. Read the whole thing.
God is
God
a
is a
spirit.
spirit. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't
Go
know you
ahead,
had-
Bill.
I know you knew it, but God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
Right. So can you worship God in your flesh?
No.
Can you jump up and down with your flesh, and is that worshiping God? If you're screaming and
Do
yelling,
it, it's not worship.
No.
so your flesh is not what's worship.
byproduct.
Yeah, but it's still not worshiping him.
Oh, it's your spirit.
Your spirit. The Bible just says, read it again. John 4:24. What does it say?
God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
So if you're not born again, can any part of you worship God if you're not born again?
No.
No, because your spirit's dead. So if you become born again, does your flesh become born again?
Nope.
So can you worship God with your flesh?
Nope.
No, you can't. That's a huge problem we have today, is people think if they're louder and they cry more, they're worshiping. And I'm sorry to tell you, your flesh is not worshiping God. Your spirit is. Your spirit is worshiping God. Now, we're going to use our body to try to emulate what we're already doing in our spirit, but God doesn't see that. He only sees your spirit. It's hard for people to grasp onto that. A lot of people get mad, and they want somehow to add, to like somehow show that they care for God. You've already done it by receiving Christ. You've already proven to God that you care by receiving his son. And that part's not easy. That part's not easy for people to hear. But we're talking about dominion. When you go up to someone, is your flesh the thing that's healing somebody? Is it your flesh?
No.
You know how easy it is for you to see that? You can see, well, my flesh isn't doing it. But when I say your flesh can't worship God, well, hold on now. I mean, because I really mean it. All of a sudden, somehow your praise and worship out of your flesh means something, but yet you're smart enough to know that your flesh has nothing to do with someone being healed. Are you understand what I'm trying to show you? A lot of people will fight and argue and say that they're doing a good thing in their flesh when they're jumping up and down and yelling for God. But if I say, well, go lay hands on that man, go pray for him to receive healing. If he does, I would ask that person, did your flesh have anything to do with that? They would quickly say no, so they don't sound self-righteous. But they will quickly in the next breath say, when they praise God, they love to jump up and down. It's one or the other. You can't pick and choose when your flesh is doing something for God. You can't. Either it's all your spirit doing it or it's all your flesh. You're not worshiping God with your flesh just as much as you're not laying hands on the sick and your flesh was in charge of making sure that this person received a healing. Obviously, we're using the earth suit that we are in, right? Because the Bible tells us that we're in this world, but we're not of this world. Well, guess what? This fleshly body is of this world. That's why you had to be born again, because it's of this world. And God's not using the things of this world for his glory. And when I say that, I'm saying it's not going to share an inheritance. The Bible tells us that flesh and blood is not what inherits the kingdom of heaven. Our spirit does. Not what was given to us by the first Adam. There's no inheritance there, because that which is spirit, and that which is flesh is flesh. Okay, so God is spirit. We must worship him in spirit. And I think we already talked about Ephesians 2:2 that talks about somebody read it, Ephesians 2:2. How it says that how does it tell us that we walk?
Spirit.
No, I said somebody read 2:2. Somebody read Ephesians 2:2.
All right. Okay, she got it.
Wherein, Ephesians 2:2, wherein time past ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience.
Right. So it says in time past, right, talking about before we were born again, it says that we walked how?
We walked according to the course of this world.
All right. To the course of this world?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, to the course of this world. That's how we used to walk, right? Mm-hmm. And it says, let me see if I can ask one more question from that. So who is the spirit that now works in the children of disobedience? Who is the spirit that now works in the children of disobedience?
Satan.
Into the power of the air. Yeah,
Satan, right? Because we know he's a spirit, right? And it's him that works in the children of disobedience, right? So today we're focused on the God of this world, the God of this world. And if you haven't realized, the whole point I'm trying to make is you're it. Again, you are the God of this world. And you'll hear blasphemy. You will hear people laughing because they're not taking serious what Paul had recognized about Satan, that he was the God of this world. Let me ask you again, how was Satan the God of this world? How did he become that?
He took Adam's dominion.
He took his dominion.
Do what?
Because Adam was God of this world, and he took his dominion.
Yeah, he took Adam's dominion, and Paul recognized now Satan is the God of this world. So if Jesus took the authority away from Satan, who did he give that authority to? So who's the God of this world?
We are.
We are. How? How are we the God of this world?
God's not God.
How are we the authority of this? I mean, the God of this world. How?
Through his spirit.
Right.
Because Jesus is the God of this world. So if Adam was the God of this world, Satan took that dominion from Adam, and Jesus took that dominion from Satan. Jesus became the God of this world, correct?
Right.
And he gave that authority to us. That's why he's the Son of Man. That's why he's the Son of Man.
So he went to the pits of hell and got the keys, and now Grace says Peter has it, right?
Right. So now, through the last Adam, whether people like it or not, and it's hard to hear, trust me, but my friend, I am telling you, if you could see that you are, as Moses was to Pharaoh, if you can see yourself, God in this world, an ambassador from heaven, right? From the kingdom of heaven, right now, the kingdom of God here in this world, you will slowly start the idea of you not being able to do something in God's name will slowly start deteriorating. If you could see it. Stop looking at yourself as just a regular human that there's this great God out there and you have no part of him. Maybe if you scream and pray and cry enough, he might recognize you one day. When you see yourself like that, you are not seeing what the Bible is trying to tell you who and what you are. You're not seeing it. And it is hard to go up to someone and pray for them or to speak life in someone when you do not see what you actually are in God's eyes. If you cannot see what he sees, then something's wrong with your sight. And you need to get someone to bring you back to the proper sight. You're not seeing correctly. Right? Anybody got anything to add or to say or anything? Let's see.
Man, I'll tell you what. I do have a question.
Yeah. Or you did have a question, I guess. He'll be back.
I have a question.
Oh.
So, the name, let's see. In Chronicles, that says it translates to black.
What translate to black?
Give me a second.
Why don't you read the verse so we can all be tracking what you're talking about?
On my project of deciphering all of Chronicles, all the names, getting them into Hebrew, and the name that keeps coming up,
I've tried to translate it to something else. I've looked up, obviously the word black. The word is...
Hey, before you tell us the word, read the verse where you're at.
Well, I'm gonna.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Let's do that
I
first.
literally wrote their names down and...
All right, Christian, listen. Do me a favor. Tell us, before you say anything else, please, I'm begging you, tell us the verse where you're at, and I want you to read it, and then we'll talk about it. Can you do that?
Yeah, let me find it.
All right. You're doing this backwards. Like, let everybody understand where you're at. Give the address. What? What, sir? What do you want? Well, while he's looking for that, anybody got anything else? Anybody? Well, I'll say this while... go ahead. Go ahead, Breezy.
And are you on tomorrow?
Man. Maybe. I don't know. I can't promise anything. I'm not sure if I'm going to be on tomorrow. But if you make sure that your chime goes off, like what is it called, your notifications or whatever, if you make sure that is on, then you'll know because it'll chime. And if you haven't updated your apps, your YouTube app or TikTok app, make sure you have them updated because what do you say, Tammy? I can't listen tomorrow. Oh, hey, come if you can. No big deal. There's gonna be people that's able to come. There's gonna be people that's not. To be honest with you, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to. I might. I don't know. Obviously, I want to, but I got to play it by ear. Christian, you find it or not?
Yep. It is the name Cush, and it.
Oh my Lord, Christian! What address are you at? For God's sakes, brother.
1 Chronicles 1:9.
All right, read it. Read 1 Chronicles 1:9. Read the verse, sir.
And the sons of Cush, Seba and Havilah and Sabta and Ramah and Sabteka, and the sons of Ramah, Sheba and Dedan.
That sounds about right.
Good one, Christian. Good
So
one.
that's pretty good, bro. I got that recorded. I'm gonna make a good video out of that right there, and it's gonna say Christian crying to his mom that I want Sapa and I want a Tamawa and I want a Rana. That's pretty good. All right. So you're talking about Cush. All right. What about Cush? What about it?
Cush.
What about it?
Well, the name translates directly to black, according to the Strongs.
Yep, I remember that.
Right.
It is going to be dark or black or yeah. What about it?
It's just, I was wondering if black is pointing to something else. The reason why. Sorry, go on.
Context. It's not just what the name means. It's in the context that it's being used. You don't just look at the name and the name is telling you everything. The context plays a part.
Yeah, so it reads out like, okay, now this is the part of the study, right? I'm just going to start right above it. It says the horse's mane striking again, 7, low country, and black brought forth rebellion. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Darkness, rebellion, right?
It brought forth rebellion.
Yeah. It wouldn't make any sense if it was like, if Cush's name, meant sunlight or light, and it'd be like, you get to Cush and it's like, and bright light brought forth rebellion. You'd be like, what? But then even if it said that, there'd be a reason. And in context, you'll be able to see why that means that. But it's always context. Like, it's not always what you think, man. Like, for instance, if someone was to say that the rod of God, every time you see the word rod, it's representing Jesus. So that means when we see Moses and the Magi, the magicians of Pharaoh, sitting there holding rods, well, Pharaoh's magician had a rod. So it was Jesus against Jesus. That in context, Moses holding the rod, being the authority of God, Christ said that all authority has been given unto me. Now, in context, we know who that rod is representing. But if you're going to sit there and say, because I've seen people do this, they've come through the live and they'll see what we're talking about the rod, and they're like, well, hey, what are you doing? Behave. They'll say Pharaoh magician had rods, so was that Jesus too? But notice they're taking Christ out of context. Christ would not be the authority of Satan, which was what Pharaoh is representing. Christ would never be the authority of Satan. That makes no sense. So if you're seeing rod, every time you see rod, it's Jesus. No, you're misunderstanding. And again, I'm not talking to anybody particular. I'm saying you figuratively, if a person was to say that. So it's always context. It's how it's being used. What's the context of the story? And you'll be able to see kind of put together better. All right. Anybody got anything else?
That's amazing. Oh, sorry. Try it real quick. Can I just finish it a little bit more?
Well, no, not today. No, because when you say finish it, you mean 4 hours. So I'll tell you what. Listen. I think you get, all right, one more line. Okay. Don't be lying about one more line. All right, go ahead.
No, it's, I'm so literally just said what we just discussed. Black brought forth rebellion and the mighty on the earth, Egypt, begat the firebrands and affliction of waters.
Yeah. All right. So if you don't know what Christian is doing, he's just trying to understand why it seems like even in the begattens, like kind of where he's at, so-and-so begat so-and-so, he's very curious about why does it seem like when there is a lot of names being like lined up a certain way, even though this person begat so-and-so, like you can't make up the order. There's a person that had a son, and that son had a son, and so on and so forth. And when you put the names together, he's just intrigued on how perfectly a story is told throughout the Bible. And there's people, they don't want to take the time to look at that, and that's fine, but you can't negate it. Like, it's there, and that's all he's pointing out. So if there's anyone that's confused on what he's doing, he's just studying those things out, which they're actually pretty fun though, man. Honestly, it just shows the wisdom of God. But let's see, Michelle, do people allow or agree with Satan without knowing? Yeah, you can do it without knowing, because the Bible tells us that my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So if there's a lack of knowledge of something that you're doing in your life, then Satan can still come in your life and eat your lunch and pop the bag. Like, for instance, when I first started talking about authority, one of the first things I spoke about is strife. And what I point out is there's people in their culture, strife is okay. It's a normal thing. Well, what they've done is they have allowed strife to be a norm in their life. It's normal. But the Bible tells us that where strife is, there's every evil of work. So it's not okay to live in strife. But if you've made it normal, then you don't see it as strife. You just see it as communication. This is just how we communicate as a family, but yet it's very strifeful. And the example I gave is nobody that I know would allow a black mamba, however you pronounce that snake. Nobody would allow a viper, like a poisonous snake, to live in their house. The man of that house would take charge out of fear because he understands poisonous snake unalives people. Everybody get out of the house. We need to hire 5 professionals, whatever, go in that house and find that snake. And they ain't going back in that house until they find it. But they will allow strife to live there, and the father leading the whole thing. The father leading the strife. Passing down this very poisonous way of living to the point to where people will defend that it's okay to live in strife. So the question that Michelle asked is, do people allow or agree with Satan without knowing? Yes, I just gave you a perfect example. There are people that have normalized strife in their life, and they are agreeing with Satan that strife is okay, and they don't even know it because they've passed it down as it's normal. This is culture. This is how we live. It's not normal. Just like they wouldn't agree, that same family wouldn't agree that having a poisonous snake loose in your house, you don't know where it's at, you don't know when it's going to come out. They would quickly agree that that's wrong, but they can't see that strife is wrong. And that's because they've been blinded. They've allowed the lie that strife is normal, therefore it's okay. Well, it's not normal, and the Bible tells you why. I hope that helps, Michelle. Yeah, it's 100% unhealthy. Anybody else got something to say or a question before we hop off? Anybody?
I just want to say, everybody have a happy Thanksgiving. God bless you all. Enjoy. I'm out.
Absolutely. Anybody else?
Yes, well, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Love y'all, and don't eat too much because I know I'm going to.
Yeah. Hold on, Jordan. Let's see. How do you deal with it if the other person is in strife? If the other person, what do you mean? Like you're at McDonald's and you're in line and someone is on their phone screaming and in strife? Well, you just leave McDonald's. What do you mean other person? What are we talking about here? A friend, a marriage? God bless. Absolutely. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Partnering with the accuser and you can't leave their presence. You're being vague. Jordan, send me a DM or a text. You're being vague, bro. Oh, marriage. So what do you do if the other... we'll talk about it offline. A family member. Okay, so we got 2 people asking. All right, so if you have a family member... Okay, let's say it's the marriage. You're married to a person... that believes that strife is okay, like this is normal. Boy, you better take some baby steps, because if you come straight out, let's just say you come straight out and you say, strife is of the devil, you're going to be sleeping on the roof on the corner. Somebody give me the verse. What verse says that? It is better for you to sleep on the top of a roof on the corner than to do what? Does anybody know what it says?
Be with a scorned woman.
To be in a house with a scorned woman. Well, I'll tell you, if you want to make your heifer scorn, you go ahead and point out, listen here, woman. There is strife in your life, and you're a viperous snake, and you're a snake in the grass. You're going to sleep outside. I promise you, one of you will be outside. And that viperous snake may just be the one living in the house. Let's see. Joe Rogan. What? Bro, I look nothing like Joe Rogan. I don't understand this every week. Is this the same person?
It must be your muscles. It's your muscles in the shirt.
No, you can't, bro. You can't see. I can barely even see myself in the screen, dude. I can barely see myself. Joe Rogan. I don't know. I don't see it. We look nothing alike, dude. Because he's a guy? I don't understand. So anybody...
Kind of like, bro. That's my deal.
Huh?
Try, I just want...
Kind of like...
I don't know. He don't sound...
have them headphones on.
That's probably what it is. I got headphones on my head. Yeah, Nina, what's up?
I just wanted to say thank you for going over the how God creates the evil, because I really saw it the way you said it, and it just validated it.
Yeah, it's not, dude, it's not something easy you see. It's not, listen, I've been through every type of debate, argument about it. I know all the scriptures people throw out, but if you are not studied in how light is removed from a being, if you have not studied that, if you don't know that process, then you're just going to see it completely wrong. But again, if someone just disagrees, what does it matter? I don't understand this.
Just leave them.
Just leave it alone. Now, look, if you've gained a rapport with someone and y'all are, kind of friends, I guess, or at least a little bit, it's okay. Y'all can go around a few more circles, but you need to know your personal boundary. I don't mean setting a boundary for them. I'm saying for you. You need to know. Like me, I put about 2 to 4 circles, man, and I know my boundary. Like, my boundary is, I'm done with the nonsense. Like, if you're not agreeing with me and I'm not agreeing with you, this is called a standstill. We're at a standstill. It's pointless. Obviously, only one person is seeing correctly. More than likely, it's I don't want to say more than likely, but it's not worth pointing a finger, and saying it, don't trust your flesh. I say this all the time, man. Lord, I'm married. If a young woman comes up to me, I don't care how I know her. And I don't care if it's now, if it's my personal cousin or sister or something, that's different. But if it's someone I know from, let's say, one of my wife's family members or something, they're like, hey, can you give me a ride? Maybe if it's one of her sisters. If it was one of my wife's sisters and their car broke down, they need a ride, I'd probably give them a ride, okay? But I'm saying if it's someone I know huh? What?
It better not.
Better not. Nah, if it was one of her sisters, I'll be good, man. But I'm saying outside of that, yeah, I'm with you. You ain't getting in my truck. No, you need a ride? Oh, I'll call you an Uber. Matter of fact, I'll pay for it right now. I'll wait for them to get here. I will sit outside my truck, wait for Uber to get here, but you ain't that's trust. Telling that young lady, yeah, get in my truck. All the junk in life, dude, it starts off with good intentions. It really does. It starts off, everyone says, oh, God, I just let her in the truck one day and then before you know it, you got this freaking crazy story. You're like, bro, how did that start? It always starts with good intentions. Oh, well, I just gave him my Facebook. You might as well give him your number. It's called DMs. It's like a slick way to get behind. I mean, come on, stop with the nonsense, man. So, just responding to the fact you're not supposed to trust your flesh. That's the point I'm making. I don't trust mine. My flesh has failed me enough in life. And I'm just, again, you get to the point where you're just sick and tired of being sick and tired. And you realize that you actually had a role in whatever was causing conflict in your life. When you finally come to that, you start learning, wait a minute, I trust my flesh more than I give myself credit. So somebody wants to debate or argue about something, I'll go around a few times with them, and after that, I'll tell my flesh to shut up. That's it. Say, hey, you're done. I don't care what they say. Oh, you're running. You're scared. All right, have a good one. I don't care because I don't trust my flesh. But there are people, they still do, like a fool. They still trust their flesh. And this is how you just, things get ruined. And I will say this, DMs, like texting, bro, it is the worst form of communicating. It really is. And, you know, I've had to
when you're sarcastic.
Yeah, and I'm very sarcastic.
I don't get it.
And I am very sarcastic. I'm telling you, I come off. So I have to tell people all the time, hey, you know, I got to send them white flags. I got to say, hey, please put your gloves down, please. I don't. You're not taking it the way I'm wanting you to. Like you're getting upset and mad, and I don't mean it in that way. And I always tell people, look, you're a friend. I want to keep you as a friend. Maybe we need to talk on the phone instead because the texting is 100% ruining our relationship. You know, but anyway, guys, y'all have an amazing Thanksgiving, and I'm not sure if we'll be on tomorrow morning. I'm hoping to be, but if not, y'all have a great one. And if I don't see y'all tomorrow morning, then obviously, hopefully Friday. If not, it could be Monday. But just make sure you have your apps updated. And if you are subscribed to Descaled TikTok, please unsubscribe and subscribe to the YouTube. If you still haven't done that, please do that today. Try to do it as soon as you can. We're trying to make the strength of Descaled on YouTube, man. I'm telling you right now, happy Colonizer Day. You're such a goofball. Let me see. I don't know. We asked someone to come up. I guess we'll say hello. What's going on, What's going on, Popcorn?
I'm a cowboy and popcorn. You can call me Popcorn Cowboy.
What's up? What's on your mind, man?
Nothing too much. Tomorrow's my first time having bacon.
All right. I'm not sure what happened to that person.
My first time having bacon.
I don't know.
It was Jordanian. It's fine. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. God bless.
Yeah, Brother Todd, I just wanted to say to everyone, have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Question again. I don't know what happened.
And Brother Trot, thank you for the teaching. Little by little, I'm being descaled, and I am so glad, and I thank you for everything. God bless you.
Hey guys, no, I just...
All right. Okay, guys. Well, we will see y'all hopefully in the morning. If not Friday, if not Monday, we'll see. Holidays are always skeptical. So God bless. We'll see you soon.